Hi, hey, and hello there. Obi-Wan here, and welcome back to the Comic High Ground. Okay, I know I'm a couple weeks late. As I said last time, a lot of stuff has been going on in life, but I'm gonna give you all a quick review of Ultimate Spider-Man 2. There's not a lot to be said. It was a good issue, but there's not a lot to cover. Basically, is essentially Peter learning how to use his powers. So we're just gonna go ahead and get started. So the comic starts off with Peter and his family, and they're eating breakfast, and Peter's daughter, whose name escapes me, I think it's Mary, but she's talking to her brother, and they're kind of talking about they're talking about the new mask figure, the new figure in black who's been doing these heroic deeds and everything. And while Peter's son is kind of saying, "Look, this is just some type of, editing, some type of deep fake or something like that. This isn't real. This is just some internet editing." But the daughter is basically, she believes he's real and she's scared of him. So Peter's just like, "Well, look, if he thinks it's CGI thing, if he thinks it's fake, just go with what he says." And meanwhile, while this is going on, Mary Jane is getting ready to go to work and basically asking Peter if he can handle taking care of the kids until the babysitter gets there. And he's like, "Yeah, I got it." So Peter, in the meanwhile, is having this kind of inner monologue, thinking about all his exploits so far as Spider-Man. And he's kind of thinking about how his strength is so much more. I think he lifted like a bus or a fire truck or something. He's talking about how his appetite is like way bigger and he's so much faster, and he's still trying to get a grasp of basically what is the spider sense, and he's not quite sure about what it is yet. So it's basically like this montage of him doing different things, but we kind of cut forward to one of his patrols, and in this patrol he basically runs into Shocker. Now you can tell how, I don't want to say naive, but new. I'll say new. You can tell how new this version of Spider-Man is, even though he's 33, 36, I can't remember how old he is. Even though he's in his 30s, he's still susceptible to be tricked by, even the slightest sob story, because he pretty much rolls up on Shocker and he gets into this, well, he rolls up on Shocker, and as he rolls up on Shocker's trying to break into this place, and Shocker's basically like, "You know what, man, I'm sorry. This is my first time ever trying to do this, money, this, that, and the other." And then Peter is basically like, "Oh, you know what? As long as you just go home and just don't do this again, we're good." And then Shocker basically tricks him and then blasts him across the street or whatever and gets away. So Peter at that point is like, "Well, damn it, that was stupid." So he goes home, sneaks inside the window, and gets himself I think some milk or something like that. And he looks and sees that his daughter is like sitting there in the kitchen or in the living room, and she's like in tears because she's scared because this masked figure is in her house, and he's like, "Oh crap." So he has to take the mask off and like, "Look, no, it's me, it's Dad. Yeah, I'm the superhero. You don't have to be afraid. We're good." So basically, they agreed to keep this to themselves for the time being. Now we cut to Fisk, who's basically seeing these reports because there's news reports about him, of course, and he's basically going to lean on the press covering Spider-Man to kind of cover up the entire thing about the Goblin attacking him, because we also find out that there was another attack, and it was, I believe, from inside of his building, if I'm not mistaken. But there's this other figure, and he's some kind of higher up. He's someone with the Maker, and he's kind of threatening Fisk to make sure he gets this stuff under control. And it's interesting when you have someone threatening Wilson Fisk, because Fisk is such a big figure, both literally and figuratively, that he doesn't really shake. And even now he doesn't shake. He's not scared of the guy. He's just like, "Look, this is my kingdom. I'm gonna handle my stuff." So we cut back to Peter, and he's kind of out again on patrol, and Mary Jane is like, you know, you good? You gonna come home late tonight? And he's like, yeah, I'll be home late tonight, but don't worry. You know, you all pack up. I mean, you all, you know, get ready for bed and go to sleep, and I'll be there a little later. So he's actually planning on getting his payback on Shocker because he knows that Shocker is gonna pop back up. And of course, Shocker does pop back up, and Peter actually does stop him this time because he hits him a couple of times. And I think he actually cracks his ribs because he still doesn't know how to pull his punches at this point, or he doesn't know that he needs to, maybe. And Shocker kind of like, you know, okay, I'm good. You know, I quit. You know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for all of this. You know, there's this thing going on with my wife, and we're trying to pay for medical bills. And then again, Peter's just like, oh, dang, oh, man. And then at that moment, he kind of stops and he's like, wait a second, are you lying? And he's like, duh. And so he blasts Peter across the street again and gets away. And as Shocker gets away, we see that the Green Goblin is watching him fly off, or jump off, or whatever he did to get away. So, not really sure what that's going to lead to at this point, but we know that it's going to lead to something. So, at this point, Peter goes back home. He goes to the refrigerator and he sees this little note from his daughter, and it's basically a little note saying that he should change, or should put a spider emblem on his chest, and I think the color on there is like red and blue. So this is pretty much what's gonna get him to. This is pretty much what's gonna make him go ahead and make his actual classic red and blue costume, which is fine. The one thing we did notice about this suit is that it looks to be some sort of nanotech or something, because it kind of moves. It's like he controls it, and it moves the mask and everything. So I don't know, maybe he'll be able to will the suit to change its appearance. Maybe I hope that's the route they go, because him having like this nano suit that can change however he wants it to, it's kind of like having the symbiote, but all the time, and without any of the negative connotations that comes with it. And then again, it's just a nice different take, you know, a Spider-Man who doesn't have to worry about repairing his costume all the time, who doesn't have to worry about changing his costume. He can just kind of mentally will it on. Yeah, sort of like in Spider-Man Unlimited, where he had to watch with the nanites, and he would press the button, and then the suit would pretty much, you know, cover him. Something like that. That would be really cool if they did something like that for this, because it's different, and then it's also still kind of being faithful to the red and blue suit without, you know, the additions of the symbiote and everything. So he's not going to have any enhanced strength because of it. It's just, you know, he doesn't have to worry about sewing stuff up. But we don't know yet. He might end up going to a cloth suit. We'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, that's pretty much that issue. I mean, I did kind of skip over a part with Jameson and Uncle Ben, but that's because it really wasn't too important. They basically were sitting in this sauna talking about the news and talking about the new Mask figure, and it wasn't a lot. There wasn't a lot to that particular story beat, so that's why I really didn't talk about it that much. But as of right now, again, we don't know. We got a few different plot threads going right now, because we have Shocker, who's still on the loose. Even though it's Shocker, I don't think he's gonna be much of a problem. However, Green Goblin is kind of watching, so we don't know where that angle is. And we got Fisk in the background doing what Fisk is doing. So there's a few different threads that's moving right here, and we're gonna have to wait and see what it leads to. So again, another really good issue is building up his origin, and it's okay to do an origin this time because it's so different from the usual Spider-Man origin. So again, we're just waiting eagerly to see what the next issue is. These month-long waits are just, whew. I know it's technically good for the quality of the story and the art and everything, but it's just such a long wait. But yeah, I'm gonna eagerly await the next issue. So with that said, hit that like button, drop a comment, let me know what you thought of this issue. Hit the subscribe button, please. I'm going to go ahead and start working on my next 2 videos, because I'm doing reviews for Spectacular Spider-Man and Black Panther #2. So a lot of work and a lot of editing in the next couple of hours. So yeah, you all have a good one, and remember, we have the high ground. Catch you later.